we are moving to warfighting readiness as the central purpose of our armed forces. When we are being directly threatened by states with advanced military forces, the most effective way to deter them is to be ready. And frankly, to show them that we're ready, to deliver peace through strength. Now, Britain has the finest servicemen and women in the world. We're showing them the respect that they deserve by delivering the biggest armed forces pay rise in 20 years and by pledging today that we will end the hollowing out of our armed forces. We'll build a fighting force that is more integrated, more ready, more lethal than ever, backed by a stronger strategic reserve, fully trained and ready to mobilise at any time.
Britain, Great Britain, is nowhere near any preparedness for any war. As a matter of fact, the only nations I believe Britain can go to war with are the third world countries. Nations like Haiti, maybe Africans, Congo, nations that has no proper military structure. Those are the nations I believe Britain should be prepared to go to war with, and not Russia. The main reason why I say this, folks, is because, as a matter of fact, Britain has around 75,000 troops, which is soldiers. Reservists, I don't think they have much. Russia, on the other hand, are getting to closer to 1 million soldiers, reservists excluded. You see, history is not in the favor of Great Britain. I think Napoleon attacked Russia. We all saw how it ended. The Germans attacked Russia. We all saw how it also ended. And as a matter of fact, the whole of NATO, including America, is supporting Ukraine to fight Russia. And we have all seen how it's going and how it will also end. At the time of recording this video, I know and I've heard that Britain decided to send 10,000 troops to Ukraine under the caption Peacekeepers. And as we speak now, they have now withdrawn all those wild ideas. Believe me, if Britain should have made this mistake to send the soldiers into Ukraine, and if those 10,000 troops will even last for a week or two, I'll be surprised. You see, let us get this clear. The war going on in Russia, going on in Ukraine, is far more dangerous and far more unstable for the opponent troops than the war in Ukraine, than the war in Iraq and Afghanistan. Satellite images being shown to President Trump, and he said the images were so horrifying that every morning when the security agencies are about to brief him and they want to show him the images in Ukraine, the horrifying death in Ukraine, President Trump himself said he sometimes or almost all the time does not want to watch those images. But because he is the president of America, he still has to watch them anyway. This tells you that what is happening in Ukraine, the British soldiers are not prepared for it. You see, these woke politicians with their woke media outlet has made it seem that Russia is losing, Russia is weak, and they thought by supporting Ukraine, they could deplete. That was the whole intention, that by supporting Ukraine, they could deplete the resources of Russia. But far from that, Russia has now strategized its military capabilities and its military production in a way that although they are losing money through the war, they are also creating employment through the war. And it has been done in such a way that they produce excess weapons, reserve most of them for any future confrontations. Whilst NATO and the Americans send their unwanted weapons, I would say, but their ability to replenish what they send to Ukraine is low. So they are lacking. That is why all these nations, including America, are backing Ukraine, and still they are not able to get the desired results they are looking for. Let us look at the British society right now. The society in Britain right now is not like the society we had in the, let's say, 60 years back, whereby men were respected and men were taught how to behave and how to control themselves. And women were taught to respect men in those days. Today, the society in Russia has become, the society in Britain has become so much feminized to the extent that even ants and mosquitoes have rights. You can't look at a woman on the street, you can be sued. Men has been demoralized to the extent that today, in the British Army, there are certain things you could say 40, 50 years ago, and it would have been deemed as, oh, this is normal conversation. But today, as soon as you say it, you become a misogynist. You become. So they have created a whole lot of names for these things. Comparing a British soldier living in this environment who have become so timid and can't even express himself in his own nation. Compare him to a Russian soldier, and you will just see the sharp contrast. The confidence of the Russian soldiers will even intimidate the wokeness in the British soldiers. Not to waste much of your time, it is in the best interest of Britain to stop sending the troops to Ukraine. Because with some of the videos I see in Telegram or on Telegram, if they last 2 weeks, I'll be a bit surprised. All of them will die. Here is Kofi TV. If you like my videos, you can subscribe. And we will meet on the next video. Bye-bye.